Spirit and soul, where Atlanta's service industry unpacks raw and provocative truths, share hilarious commentary about their unique industry experiences.
Okay, so here's another question. What kind of bartender are you? Are you the type of bartender you'd want serving you? Do you feel like 100% of the time? Or, like, are there elements just like, actually, I would prefer if you could remix. What's the ideal bartender for you?
Me.
Okay.
Me. Definitely me. And I mean, again, I don't, this probably is going to delve like into ego because, I mean, even against my best intents, we're all victims of it.
But
me, I feel like I'm attentive. You know, I usually let the guest lead, so like I'm not over talkative unless I pick up that you keep trying to talk to me, then I can be, and again, this also goes on how I feel for the day because some days I don't feel like doing shit. But when I'm on, I'm on. I know how to like talk to you. I know how to like break conversation, let you do what you're doing. I feel like I'm pretty good at reading like the interaction level you want.
That's what I said earlier. He's a good conversationalist. Without being
annoying, because I know how it feels. I'm sitting at a bar and I'm on my phone. I got things going. I don't want to talk, and you're not, and
Please pick that up.
And the bartender's not reading your body language. I'm like, man, I'm on my phone. Clearly, I got stuff going. So, I feel like I'm pretty aware and good at that. Like, that. I'm fast. I'm knowledgeable, and I think I'm pretty funny, and I'm honest. Like, so I don't know. I think my ideal bartender is me. Like. And I can also, I'm gonna give you some bar shit too, just because I think that comes with it. Like, but I mean, that's maybe just a generation I'm specific to or whatever. But I might give you a little bar funk that just cause like, that's what you're here for. It's a bar.
I will admit that it would be me, but there's some additions that I feel like I need to have.
Like what?
I need to know how to make a better drink than myself. I can make all my drinks good, but I want something I haven't had before. Like, introduce me to something new. And so I can experiment, but, I like to experiment within a certain realm. So it's like I need something to blow my mind. Like, oh, wow. As we were talking about KC, second episode, please listen.
Right.
Some of the cocktails he were making, I was just like, this blew my mind. I'm happy I have this because I don't know how to make this. I'm enjoying a drink that I don't know how to make. There's so many bars I go to, and I'm like, man, this is good. I can make it. I base my frequency in going to a bar is... Can I make that cocktail? Would I drink that cocktail? Is that something I'll put on my menu? Yeah, it's good. Then okay, then I can go there again. Or I can suggest it to another person if they ask. That's another thing. I feel like when I talk to bartenders, or a question I get often is, where should I go after here? Or after hours? Or where should I go for brunch? I'm visiting. Or what's another cool place? And I feel like I have no suggestions because I don't go out. I mean, I do, but like I get lucky when I go out. I just hang out with the right people. I don't be knowing where I'm going. So when people ask me that question, I'm always like, I don't know. And then I text 100 people like, hey, where to go?
You're better than me. I ain't texting nobody.
I'm like, it depends on how good that tip is going to be for that. You know what I mean? If I really like you, then I'll go the extra mile. But a lot of times I wish I was a little bit, I don't wish I was different. I shouldn't say that at all. But if I was my own bartender, I would know where to go. What's the next place to go after this? I don't be knowing. I'm like, I get lost in the fucking wind. I don't know.
I feel
that's
like...
That's me. That's just me.
I feel like with that, though, like, I mean, a lot of this craft is just kind of fake it anyway. I keep a couple of cocktails up my sleeve, and
like this one.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I keep a couple of cocktails up my sleeve so that when somebody comes in, and I can usually gauge the level of your drinking by what you're drinking. Like if you come in and ask for an old fashioned, depending on how you order for me, how you order that old fashioned, what you ask for, I can pretty much gauge your level of like drinking. Maybe you're a new person that just discovered old fashioned, so you feel like you're being sophisticated. So I know, like, if you ask me what's something you should drink, I'll make you a Trinidad sour. One, I know you've never heard of it before.
I haven't either.
Exactly.
Put me on.
This is a drink KC taught me. So I have drinks, like, I'll pull up, but I mean, in my mind, it's the same old shit. It's just, I can tell you ain't been nowhere. So, like, but I feel like as a bartender, you got to keep a couple of those. And I mean, I feel like you don't got to know everything, man. Like, cause I'm not fucking MapQuest.
And not Google either.
And you asking me shit, like, when you holding a smartphone is a big pet peeve of mine, because it's like you can fucking Google this. However, if you come to me like, hey, when you get up, where do you go? Depending on where I'm at, I'll tell you, like, hey, like, if I'm if I was at Fox Shop, like, hey, I'm probably go to 11th Street. Like, I'll tell you something like that. But I mean, I'm not going, like, I don't feel any onus on me to know. Like, I don't fucking know. Google it if you really want to know. Like, but
I expect me as a guest. I expect my bartender to know. Man,
I guess you better pull out your phone and figure it out. That's what I guess. Like, man, I'm here to make your drinks. I am not here to navigate the fucking city for you.
You know this city.
Man.
You know this city better than me.
I might have just started working here like 2 weeks ago, and I'm just a good bartender. I don't know the city anymore than you do.
Then I accept that though too, and I'll be like, okay.
What if I'm a bartender that, like, I work here and I don't drink?
Ask your coworker.
Man, you asked them. How about that? You asked them. Like, I'm not here for that. And this is what I'm talking about. I'm not here for this. Now, if I like you, I'm gonna help you out. But if you've been short and rude, man, figure it out. Google it. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I usually just go home. I don't know. Meanwhile, I'm gonna run the corner.
That's literally what I tell them, guys. I don't know. That's my answer, and I hate it. I'm like, I'm not cool. I know that I come off cool, but I am not that cool. I go home. I go eat some leftovers at home, and I go home. I go to Waffle House and look random as fuck. Like,
I'm a regular. They know me.
The other day, I was at Waffle House, and this guy came up. I was at Waffle House by myself, which to me is not a big deal. It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I finished a shift. I was hungry.
Right.
I didn't want to wait till I went home. And my brother, he honestly was like, why would you get mad? But I was sitting there, I had my AirPods on, and I was watching like a show, and I was just eating. And this guy came with me, this drunk idiot. You're too cute to be here. And I was just like, I was really offended. I was offended. I was so offended. I was just like, so I can't go to Waffle House and enjoy something by myself? Like, do I look pathetic being here? Like, I enjoyed my meal and my whatever. I felt so, it made me just feel like, damn, like, I can't, I don't know. That really just did not feel good to me. And my brother could, well, I'm gonna keep saying my brother because I don't want to, like, make him out to be somebody. But I was offended. I was thoroughly offended. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't be out by myself eating food at 3 o'clock in the morning. I gotta be ugly or a male. I was offended by that.
Yeah, I mean,
I was offended by that. I mean, I didn't let it disrupt my situation. I was just like, fuck off. And I kept eating and I kept enjoying my meal. But the next day when I woke up, I was just like, he really said that to me. Like, should I not be in Waffle House at 3? What does that look? What am I giving off that looks like I can't be here? Because I feel like I can be here.
I think in this given situation, you should not look inward. You should probably just let things be, because you got to understand, man, people are dumb. And I mean that across the board. And you in the back listening, you're probably dumb. And I mean that with all, like, well-intended love and
We're
all
all
that.
dumb sometimes.
No, I ain't dumb. Y'all are dumb. So a lot of times people say dumb shit because they don't know what to say. And instead of, like, that little part in your brain that, like, triggers and says, don't say anything. Some people don't have that, like, whatever. And so I like that. Like, you can't look inward and figure, you were at Waffle House. What did you do? Like, he probably just bailed out. Yeah, he probably just bailed out. Stopped at Waffle. I've been there. I've bailed out and stopped at Waffle House before.
Waffle House
story.
saves the day a lot of the time, and I'm here for Waffle House.
Right. Shout out to Waffle House, baby.
Shout out to Waffle House.
I got me a Waffle House lady. She loves me. I be plotting, like, cause
you got a what?
A old Waffle House lady, man. She loves me. She been trying.
Waffle House lady.
Yeah, she been trying to give me a takeout forever. I'm never gonna do it. It's never gonna happen. But
you should totally do that. That would be so sweet. I mean,
I'm not really trying to be sweet.
Sweet.
Yeah. I hear you. I'm not really trying to be sweet. Not that sweet. But anyway, shout out to her though, because she's always there at 3:00 in the morning when I want my double bacon and a waffle. She's there and she knows my order.
What's her name?
I don't know.
Oh.
I
The
know.
least you can do is remember her name.
Why? Anyway, let's move on. Okay, let's move on.
Okay, what makes you return to an establishment? There are so many options out there. Like literally, there's restaurants popping up every single week. But what guarantees a repeat visit from you? And it has to be something more than the food and the drinks. I mean, I know we're all here for the experience, but what is it for you?
That's easy, and I know this is gonna sound hypocritical, and I don't even care.
Okay.
It depends on well, okay, not first. First of all, it depends on obviously things like the food, atmosphere, environment. That does matter to me. Like if I walk into somewhere and it smells like a dirty mop, I don't want to be there. We've all been there. You know what I'm talking about. When you go in a food place and you don't smell food, you just smell like a dirty mop because they ain't changed the mop head in years. So the aesthetics of a place, the aesthetics, the food, the vibe, service, but then like service on another like deeper level because I mean I don't go anywhere announcing, hey, I'm a bartender, but
Right.
I usually sit at a bar when I go out.
Yeah, same.
And I'm usually paying attention to the type of service I get and just the receptiveness, just the rapport. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I don't really necessarily want you to be up in my face, but just that.
Yeah.
And then lastly, just being honest, the amount of love I get, man. If I come through and like you taking care of me, I mean, I'm a bartender. I'm gonna I'm gonna go above and beyond and take care of you. But like, I'll just be. But again, it depends on what we're talking about. If we're talking like, if we're going out to a restaurant to eat, food trumps everything. I'm going out for food. If we're
Really? So what are those places? Because I mean, I feel like our food sucks here.
Me too. I
feel
totally
like
agree.
consistently across the board, everybody's about experience and great cocktails.
Yeah.
But the food is lackluster as fuck.
I agree. I think like I totally agree with you. The food overall in Atlanta is very disappointing.
Yeah.
And we're supposed to be in the South, and it's crazy. I find it very crazy.
Yeah.
I agree with you. But like 101 Steak is one of my favorite places to go.
I've heard of them. I haven't been.
I love them.
Okay.
I love them. Shout out to Steve. He's the GM over there. Shout out to
Okay.
Steve. I love them over there. If you go in there, it's a super like you'll see like a bunch of like.
And it's in Vining, so it's not too far from me.
I'll just say this. I've shown up over
You
there.
like Vinings. Vinings. You mentioned Marlowe's Tavern. Vinings is not that bad.
I don't like Marlowe's though, so let's not shout Marlowe's out too quick.
Okay.
But I've been to Marlowe's because I've been with friends. But no, I like going places. I'm all about my ratios. I'm all about ratios. Like I'm not going anywhere where there's too many black people, and I'm not going anywhere where there's too many white people. I'm going. I need a balance.
What about CS? CNS?
CNS? Oh, shout out to Arnold. I know this. I know him. I know the
CNS
GM. I know the
is
GM.
good.
Arnold's my guy. I know the GM over there.
Their char grilled oysters are so good.
Man, we go to. I be in CNS probably like once every couple of weeks.
Okay,
I was just in
okay.
CNS
CNS
last
is
week. Yeah. I know all of them over there. But that's another thing about return to an establishment. Like I usually go places where I know people, and not.
That's what I put here. I go where I have friends.
It's hard. Like if you've been bartending this long in Atlanta, it is very hard for me to not go somewhere where I know somebody. It's like the place, like CNS. Please, Arnold's my guy. Like I go out and drink with him. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Yep.
But CNS their food is pretty consistent. I wish they would change their menu. Arnold change the menu a little more. I wish they would switch the menu up a little more. But the food
more
is
seasonal.
Well, just switch it. I mean, they do what
Don't
they
take
do.
off those char grilled oysters.
No,
though.
the oysters ain't going nowhere.
That has to stay.
They do what they do and they do it good. It's just like, if you go a lot of times, at some point, like a little variety would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just that for me, man. Just like the vibe and the love. Like I've been to 101, and it's a more upscale steakhouse. I wouldn't say top tier. Like it's not up there with like Peter Luger's, but it's up there with like Ruth Chris and shit like that. Especially at price point. You go in there, and I mean, I'm only saying this for the sake of like setting the ambiance. I don't want you to think I'm just seeing everything like in terms of color. But you go in there, it's a bunch of like middle-aged white folks, executive, like they look that whole like golf attire polo crowd. I've been in, and I'm only saying it again to set the aesthetic that I've shown up there after work at the stadium drunk with my shorts on, my work shirt, hat on, and I've always been made to feel welcome there, no matter what. Like I said, I've been there. So I love those people over there. Again, shout out to Steve. He's the GM. He's such a great guy. But I like stuff like that, like because I spend money. I'm not opposed to like dropping a quick 100 and change on a steak. We make it fast, spend it fast. But I want to feel welcome where I go,
Yeah.
and what I'm saying. I want to feel like I'm getting a value from getting a value for what I'm spending. Like I'm gonna spend it, but I want to make sure I'm getting my money's worth. So
Yeah,
like
I agree.
101, man, go check them out. I love them over there. They love me too.
101 and CNS.
Yes, 101. Both of those places. Like
Yeah, they're good.
yeah.
I haven't tried 101, but it's now on my list.
I got a gift card I need to use too.
Ooh.
Yeah, they came to see me. They came to see me at the stadium, and they gave me like a gift card. I need to go see them soon.
Are they one of your like repeat customers? Like
I'm more of their repeat customer. I go to like this
okay.
was Steve and the bartender Mo. This was their first time coming out to the game.
Oh.
And I think her name was Monique. But
Wait, and
they
they
call
came
Mo.
to see you and they brought you a gift card?
Yeah, because
We get gift cards, okay?
I've spent a lot of money in 101 Steak because, like I said, because they always take care of you. I've showed up one time for my brother's birthday with like 13 people a half hour before they were closing. They sat us, gave us a table.
But
The
you
service
also paid them.
Well,
like,
of course, but still, you know how
being
that go.
that
We
late.
still don't like that. At a certain point, we still don't. I showed up with a party unannounced.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
So
Late.
and it was still all love. Still, we were made. They stayed late. All that. So that's what's good. That's what'll make me go back to an establishment.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I have another question. Okay, so this is a broad statement. I'm gonna try to just make it super friendly. But as a bartender, I feel like we kind of have our career out of judging people. And to say in a better way, we just have to learn how to discern people. We're constantly judging a lot of things about a person. As soon as they come sit at our bar, we're deciphering the best way to effectively communicate with this said individual. We're determining if they're already drunk, before even arriving, because it's like if you're drunk, I'm going to have to deal with you differently.
Right.
Some of us are even judging to determine what kind of tip they will leave us, to determine
Absolutely.
what kind of service I'm going to provide. I'm not going to give you a type of service, but I can already tell that you ain't going to tip nothing.
Absolutely.
So there's certain cues that we're
Absolutely.
picking up on with people to determine like how we're going to interact with them. And ultimately, that doesn't leave just after we get off our shift. We're just that ends up that's who we are. We're constantly just kind of like deciphering people, trying to figure them out and whatnot.
What do you mean we're human?
We're human,
Right.
So what are some of those things that you are paying in particular attention to in studying your guests, and what can you determine about your guests in this process?
That might be one of the easiest questions you've asked so far.
Oh.
When you come in, I'm watching how you come in. I mean, obviously, like in my subconscious mind, not trying to be outwardly judgmental, but of course, I'm paying attention to how you dress, your appearance. A big thing I'm paying attention to, and again, I'm hoping this reaches the masses.
It will.
What I'm paying attention
This is
to,
spirit and soul.
and I'm hoping y'all hear me, is how you order.
Okay.
And when I say how you order, I mean, I don't expect you to be the most knowledgeable. It's okay if you got questions. I think what people don't realize is your approach matters. And man, I'm telling you now, if you hit me with a please and a thank you, I will do anything for you.
So what's the way not to order?
Yo, let me get a Long Island, make it strong, light ice.
Give me another one. Fire.
What do I want?
I'm not your mind reader.
Right. Or I'll just tell you now. I mean, you can see this out there when you're doing all this. Don't wave to me, because I'm telling you,
Hey,
I'm that
hello.
guy. I'll wave right back to you, turn around and keep doing what I was doing. Don't do that. It's just your approach. And I mean, it ain't complicated. I think for people that, aren't in the industry or haven't ever worked in the industry, do things that you would want people to do to you. Approach people the way you would want them to approach you.
That's good advice.
Don't bang on my bar. I don't come and sit in your cubicle and bang on your desk.
Oh.
So these things are things that like I'm judging. And I'll be
Yeah.
honest, man. If you order a Long Island iced tea and you younger than 50, I'm judging you. I'm judging. And I'm sorry you do what you want with that. If you are younger than 50 and you ask me, because that's an old people drink.
No.
Or if you younger, you drinking that, you just trying to get drunk for the cheapest amount of money. And depending on how I feel, I might either super over pour you and get you totally fucked up, or I'm gonna pull out the jigger and I'm gonna give you a quarter
This
ounce
fool
of
is
each.
twisted.
Either way,
He's
if you
twisted.
either way, if you ask me for a Long Island, more times than not, you're not getting a Long Island, or you're not getting what you want. Not for me. I'm sorry, I just don't do that. No.
I just thought about Long Island the other day. People don't. Clearly, I work in a space where Long Islands are not ordered, but
Yeah.
I have this like leftover lemon drop base that has lemon juice and syrup, and I was like, and it has vodka in it already too, and I was like, I could just add triple sec, tequila, gin, and just get in a little Coke and make a little Long Island. But I was just like, no, that's a little too much.
A fun fact, I don't even think I know what a Long Island tastes like. And I've probably made hundreds, if not thousands, in my life. I'm not even sure if I know what one tastes like, because I don't even think I've ever tasted it.
Based off of our first episode of Spirit and Soul, let's just go ahead and be clear. There's no tea in a Long Island.
No.
Just so that everyone's clear.
It has nothing to do with tea at all. There is no tea. So, but just stuff like that, man. Like how you order, what you order. I'm judging. I'm not gonna lie. I'm judging.
Yeah.
I'm judging. Yeah.
I'll say something I'm judging off. If the first thing you ask is a charger, I'm judging. I'm like, you're just trying to use me. I am not a fucking outlet.
Man.
Okay.
I just had this situation. Today's Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
I just had this situation Sunday at work with two people, almost not back to back. Maybe a couple of people happened in between, but like. They came up. One lady asked to use a charger, and I guess she was there like on a company or work tickets, outing,
mm-hmm.
whatever. And one of her executives asked her, he needed to make a call, was whatever urgent, and she was like, "Well, these are not the people you say no to." And I just looked at her, and I completely zoned out, like I was in the twilight zone. I just listened, and I saw her lips moving, but I wasn't hearing anything. And then I politely told her that no, we don't have a charger, even though there was a phone on a charger in view behind the bar.
You know that? I be bringing my charger.
Oh no,
You're
she could see it. She could see it. It was right there, which is why it was right there.
Oh.
But it was one of my coworkers' phones on his charger, and I'm not taking his. No, the point is, you knew you were coming out to a sporting event. Charge your phone. Mm-hmm. Or you knew you were going out. Now I get it. Maybe there's an emergency, and I get it. Shit happens. But
if you want me to charge your phone, it needs to be coming with a $10 bill in your hand.
At the least, at the minimum, and I'm
or see me hey, can I order a drink? Can I have all these things? Here's a $20 tip. Can you charge my phone?
I was about to say.
Then I'm like, bet. Okay,
see me with the dub. It's not even $10. See me
20.
with the dub. Mm-hmm. If you ain't coming with like at least $20, your phone is not getting charged from me. I'm sorry. It's a liability. I don't want to take your phone behind the bar. What if I fucking stumble and drop your phone? Now you want me to fix the screen?
That's very true.
I'm not doing that.
Another thing is if they ask my name.
Well, at the stadium I got a name tag on, but other than that,
I hate when people ask my name. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
What's your name? And I'm like, Thirst.
Oh, what about when people take pictures of you? They want to take pictures with you or pictures of you. What about that? Like you in the circus. How about that? Yeah, right, you monkey in the show. How about that shit? Yeah, that's a good one. Don't take no pictures of me. I'm gonna give you the finger.
Okay, here's another question. Do you date your guest? And do you have any rules related to dating your guests? Why are you laughing?
What?
What kind of things are you paying attention to as a bartender before you decide, oh, I'm about to hit on this person? Like, what is that? Yes, I'm very serious.
Are you serious?
What do you mean? I'm serious.
Whew. We need to do a shot before we.
Okay.
We might need to do a shot before we touch on this one.
You want the makers or you want to do this? Let's do makers. I'm scared of this.
I'm not. I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
Let's do this.
Banana flavored whiskey, guys.
Yeah, I don't want to eat this though.
Oh, you can though.
All right, fuck it.
I didn't say actually throw it in your mouth.
Whatever. Can you take me to the bathroom real quick before we do the shot?
Yeah.
All right, this is a date guest. This is a good one. I need to say. This is a good one.
We'll pause, and we're back.
Okay. So we were
we're
talking
gonna
about
do the shot.
Oh, let's do a shot. What are we
be-
cheersing to? We gotta cheers to something.
Cheersing to banana flavored whiskey.
Cheers to banana flavored whiskey. Oh my God, may this be great.
It's actually not that bad. It's a little sweet, but they no more sweeter than Crown Apple or something.
Chilled, that's a go.
Chilled. Okay.
It's interesting. I gotta get a picture of this. I've never heard of this.
I brought this too if you wanted to change.
Woo!
Are you okay right now?
Oh, I'm great.
Okay, let me know when you want another.
I got you.
We have plenty. Okay.
All right, so where were we at? You're dating guests.
Do you date your guest? And do you have any rules related to dating your guest, and what are those things that you pay attention to as a bartender before you decide, okay, I'm going to make my move? Like, what's something that you might do that they might not recognize, that is not like, oh.
All right, so let me answer this the best, easiest way I can answer this. In my bar experience, I've dated and had way more interactions with fellow staff than guests, to be honest with you. I mean, if you've worked in a restaurant, you know how it goes, man. Yeah. Everybody is sleeping with everybody. As far as guests, I don't like, dating is such a tricky word. I've slept with a few guests here and there. I don't know if I've dated them, man. Like, I've had,
so you've never taken a guest out on a date.
This is tricky.
What's so tricky about it?
I'm a bartender. What's a date? Going out to go get something to eat and drink?
Yes.
But I mean, I kind of do that every day.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's what it is. That's what it means. That's what it means.
Then, I mean, I do that with everybody.
What does that even mean?
What does that even mean? Well, I've had several.
I'm social.
I've dated. I've dated several guests. If that's a date, I've dated several guests. I mean, oh my God, like.
Okay, so then the answer is yes, and then so what kind of things are you paying attention to for you to take a guest out on a? We're gonna grab food and drinks. What makes you decide that? For our listeners who might come visit you, like, what is that?
I mean, that's hard to answer.
What do you mean? What's so hard about it? Can you tell me what makes it hard? Why is that hard to answer?
Intention. Because
what's your intention or their intention?
I feel like, okay, so a lot of more times than not, my dealings with any female guest I've dealt with, be it hanging out, whatever, has more than not been initiated by them. I'm hella indecisive. When I meet people, it takes a while for me to like you. You know what I'm saying? So I've seen, guests like, yeah, damn, I hit that. I mean, just being honest, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, or she's pretty, but more times than not, it's been initiated by them. I'm like, hey, fuck it, let's hang out, because let's hang out. And then, it goes wherever it's gonna go. Like, I mean, so I don't know. I would say if I were gonna consider somebody to, like, maybe date, or I'm just paying attention more to your crazy factor, like, because you know where I work. So, like,
so you say their crazy factor?
Yeah.
If someone comes to mind, maybe the most recent person, or just somebody that's just memorable that you're like, okay, I definitely remember. What was their crazy factor?
All right, I'll give you a good one. I know she'll never hear this anyway. So one of my regulars, right, from the stadium last year at the end of the season, we started hanging out. Okay. And she's a great. And this sounds bad whenever somebody starts like this. Okay. She's a great, amazing, wonderful, wonderful woman. But it just wasn't for me. Okay. And I knew that right away. Like, I mean, there were times I probably still hung out with her just because, honestly, like, I was just bored or lonely or whatever. Okay. But I knew it wasn't going anywhere. Go through that. But I don't think it was necessarily a crazy factor with that given. It's hard. Like, I'm not trying to be difficult. It's hard for me to, like, put things in a broad term because I feel like every situation is individual to the time, moment.
Well, let's talk about the most recent person.
Yeah. So this particular person, she was It's funny because she's younger than me, but she has a son, 18, and she's like super mom. This is what I mean. I found attractive, but she's a very amazing mom. She's a great mom, amazing, and she's an amazing woman. But our lifestyle is different. You know what I'm saying? Like, she works a 9 to 5, and like I said, she's like a super, like, mom. I mean, even though, like, her child is mostly grown, I get it. Like, he about to go to college, but she's like a 9 to 5er mom. Yeah. And I'm like an outlaw. Yeah. Like, me and my friends are hanging out like till 2, 3 in the morning. I mean, mind you, I'm not doing nothing crazy. We out. When I say we're out,
but that's just when you get off of work, and that's your happy hour moment. Like, just like everyone goes to work 9 to 5, their happy hour moments from like 4 to 7. Ours just happen to be from 3 to 4 a.m.
So I think it's more like a what do I lifestyle, like, Will our lifestyles merge?
Okay.
Say we did really like each other and decide we were. Would our lifestyles merge? And a lot of times it's like not, because like
Yeah.
you getting up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work. Like I'm probably just getting to sleep at like 4.
Yeah.
So like that, and then like so like with her, like it was like, man, you can't really ever like hang out when I'm hanging out. And I mean, it's no knock against you because you're doing what you gotta do for your situation.
It's just a frustrating situation.
Not even frustrating.
Yeah.
It will. It is what it is. I mean, it wasn't even that deep.
Yeah. Gotcha.
It is what it is. But I mean, that's why I never like pursued it any further, because it was like, well, I mean, I'm for the streets. As much as I can be. Not really, I'm talking shit.
I know.
I need somebody to out with me at 3 a.m. drinking. Like I need you to like. That's what I'm saying. I need you to be able to be out with me, not like I want to leave. I need you to be out with me. Like,
you don't want them waiting at home for you.
No, I want you to be out with me. Like, let's have fun. I'm not like coming home at 10 o'clock and gonna watch SVU until I fall asleep. I'm not that kind of guy. Like.
But what if they were okay with waiting at home? They're like, you have fun.
Yeah, but I want you to come too. I want you to come too.
I'm not tripping. You just do you.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel now we're getting into now we're getting into like deeper, like for me.
Okay.
Part of why at this point I feel like I'm single and I've never been married. Like, I want me and me. I want you to like. It's cool.
Yeah.
Like, I respect it if you're okay with like letting me. Hey, hang out with your friends. Come on. I'm okay with that too. I respect it. But there's another level. The next level is like, I want you to come hang out with me. Like, I'm not, because I ain't really making no noise. I ain't out here doing nothing. I'm hanging out with my friends. Like, at this point in my life, I'm not making no noise. Trust me.
We're chilling.
Yeah, I'm like an old lion. Like, it's a full roar, but I'm full of shit. I ain't doing shit. I'm out here chilling with my friends, man. I'm not making no noise. But in a partner, I want you to be there too. Because it's not like, these dudes is cool, but I'd rather you be out too.
I get that.
But the next tolerable level is always like, yeah, leave me alone. At least let me, like, what I'm not going to do, like I said, I'm not going to be in bed by like 9, 10 o'clock every day.
Do you feel like that? Do you feel like that your habits as far as like your sleeping and like you're more of a night owl because of...
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Which is not conducive to like normal relationships because normal people live,
Okay, but here's the thing. What you do is seasonal now.
Right.
You're not pursuing any other thing outside of working at the Brave Stadium. So when you're not there, do you still feel like you operate in those hours?
Absolutely.
You prefer to operate in those hours?
I mean, at this point in my life, I am who I am. Like, it doesn't turn off because of like baseball season. I mean, and then looking back, I mean, again, this is more like you're making me realize like I need to start my own podcast. Yes. You're making me realize. Or you
could be a return. Hey, you could be a special guest that's always like on here.
You're making me realize I need to like, but no, I've just like looking back at my whole life though. I've never been a morning. Even when I was a kid, I never was a morning person. Like I was more like up till 3, 4 in the morning, and I just like to sleep till like 11, 12, and then so that's also why bartending worked for me.
Okay, got it. Oh, okay, I have here. Playing more into that question, just a little deeper and different. What are some clear indicators that a bartender is flirting with you? These actions or nuances could be discreet or untraceable for some of us, but for what's like, how can you tell that, well, how can someone tell that you are like, I'm hitting on you? Because it can kind of be discreet.
Yo,
don't you feel like that?
Absolutely, I'm awkward.
And it's like if they get it, they get it. And if they don't, you're just like, oh well, because there's just you're interacting with so many people back to back to back to back. So if they can tell that you're hitting on them, then it's like, okay, she picked up, or he picked up.
This is a good one. I feel like I'm going to flip back on you in a second because I would love to hear what you got to say about this. Just being a female and like your perspective on it. For me, it's tricky because I'm awkward like a motherfucker. I'm super outspoken and whatever, but at the same time, I get shy. Like, or not, I don't know. Like, I don't be knowing, man. So, for me, if I were flirting with you, I mean, I've probably bought you a couple of drinks and, like, did a couple of shots with you unprovoked Something like that, but I mean, even then, like you wouldn't know because I feel like people do it to me all the time, and I never know. Like
Exactly.
I'd be so
I
oblivious,
feel
like,
you're
oh,
just buying me a drink
So-
because
so-
I'm cool.
so exactly. So
It's nothing to do with you trying to talk to me.
So I don't. That's why I feel like I would rather like kind of ask you this. I don't know because I feel like my methods. I feel like when I think I'm flirting with somebody, it usually goes unnoticed. Shout out to pretty girls. They're horrible tippers. Not all, but not all. Not all.
But
I'm sure you're a good tipper, but you're also industry, so you don't count. So
oh god.
shout out to the pretty girls that's not in the industry, man. Tip better. Just because somebody's getting you something, it's okay. You can still leave a couple dollars and still be pretty and keep your prettiness. But,
See, go off. See, this is why I appreciate you.
Yeah. So I mean, like,
tell it like it is.
because I mean, some of these questions, it's like, man, I don't really be flirting with girls when I work no more because I found most of the time during my experience, man, the real pretty ones, the ones I be thinking I want to flirt with, they almost always are horrible tippers. They super nice
Yeah.
and horrible tippers.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I ain't there for your niceness. I don't even want your number. I want your money
Exactly.
first.
I agree with that 100%. If you were to ask that question to me, I feel the same, which is why if I'm a weirdo, and if I actually think someone's attractive and want to flirt with them, I just like push them off to somebody else. Because I don't want to talk to them. Because I think you'll be able to tell real fast. So
What?
I'm just like, can somebody else take him? Yeah, no, I'm not going to touch him.
What?
Because I'm just going to be too in his face or sweating my ass off or just being too weird. So
Well, that's the opposite of it. You're definitely not going to get
That
what
is
you
what I do.
proverbially want. You're
Yeah.
definitely not going to get it that way. I don't know, man. Like, I just...
and if they're cool enough to like make me not feel like overheated, and I'm just like, okay, I've learned that you're kind of actually cool, and then I will let that receipt printer that for the tickets for the tables, the what do you call it, the service tickets run. I'll be like running. I'm like, yeah. Right?
Oof.
I'll come back. I'll do return visits. And I'm just like, oh, okay. But I let them talk most of the time.
Like, I mean, if I'm kind of, like, digging you, I mean, and I'm so dysfunctional, it's hard for me to, like, be digging anybody at this point. But if I am, I mean, I'll probably definitely circle back and probably, like, re-engage conversation with you or whatever, like, when most people...
Where did we leave off on and try to finish the conversation?
Right, exactly, yeah, but I don't know, man. Like, I'm so jaded with shit like that, like, I just... And I already know the more engaging and the more like I kind of like, you know, like you or think I like you, I already know the bad tip is coming. It's coming. It's coming down the pipe. I already
You're going to
know.
let me down.
You're gonna fucking let me down. The whole time I'm talking
Don't let him down,
The whole
ladies.
time.
Don't let him down.
The whole time I'm talking to you, I'm like, here comes the letdown. And then it's like $3 on 150.
Oh.
With a smile. With a smiley
That
face.
hurts. It's like your beauty is not going to pay my bills.
Somebody got to pay for them fancy handbags. I get it, man. Or somebody got to pay, whatever. Let me never even go there.
Yeah.
I just get it, man. I already know, like, pretty girls, bad tip.
Okay. You're right though. I agree with that. Okay, next question. I have this theory, which I've shared with you before, so this isn't the first time you heard it, but it's me reiterating it in this space, that for some, bartending is like an adult cop-out. Some of us find that adulting is extremely easier within this profession because it allows for so much freedom and flexibility and minimal accountability. I have referenced my voice memo that I recorded earlier, but I didn't listen to it prior to now. But in general, what I was saying is, at some point, I felt like bartending was a cop-out for adulting because I'm not held to the same expectations as a lot of my peers that aren't in this profession at all. Like, their paths are so just like, oh, you do this and you do that, and this is what happens, and this is how you work towards that, and then you have to focus here, and you need to centralize that, and that's not the case for me in this profession. And so I felt like it was a cop-out, and I felt like in saying that it was a negative thing, but now I don't really think it as a negative thing. I feel like I just found a cheat code, especially now since I have my own business. Like, I found the fucking cheat code, and yeah, I just wanted your perspective on that theory that bartending is an adulting cop out because you don't have to adult in the traditional sense that everyone else does. You're not held accountable. You make so much money. People don't realize how much money we're actually making, but they also don't realize how much money we're blowing, and how much money of that like goes out just on my social life, my drinking. It's full, but you would never really know that. You get like holidays, you don't have to commit to your family because I have to work, or weekends. Oh, I'm sorry, that's my work schedule. And people respect that. No one questions like what you're doing. You're just doing and you're living life. And everybody's just like, oh, that's his job. But they don't realize like I'm fulfilled in so many ways and you guys just don't get it.
Right. So we're gonna look. We gotta revisit this. We're gonna do a podcast episode about everything you're just talking about because I want to explore you in this whole perspective. About,
we can do it here too
about these people caring because this is the thing.
These people caring.
Yeah, about these people caring.
It really be my old. It be my old self.
Oh, I know.
It don't even be me right now. It'd be like how I used to think.
This is what I want to touch. This is what I want to touch on. This is what I want to touch on and talk to you about because I hear you. What's adulting? And I mean, not saying that for you to answer, but more just in the universe. What is adulting? I'm paying my bills. I'm paying a mortgage, paying a car note. I've raised a kid. I pay my own way to do whatever I want to do. Mm-hmm. What more adulting is there to be done? I mean, what should I be planning for retirement? Should I maybe have like an IRA or like 401k or like I don't know, like an award that says like, hey, 30 years of great service because I work for Merrill Lynch. Like, what is adulting? Am I not an adult? I have a child that I've raised, that I've put through college. Mm-hmm. Am I not adulting? Mm-hmm. What so even that, it throws me because I don't know who and I get these are just questions you're throwing out there, but like who are these people with the opinions saying it's not adulting, and how are they adulting more than how I'm adulting? We both have a job. Mm-hmm. We both have a place we're obligated to be for a set amount of hours. We both get compensated for being there. Mm-hmm. We both take that compensation and pay for things that we don't even want or need, mm-hmm. but we're obligated to pay for. Mm-hmm. And then we get old and we die. So what is more adulting? Mm-hmm. I feel like people that say that or subscribe to that type of thinking or ideology are really just saying they're unhappy with what they're doing. So they feel like what you're doing is more childlike because they're unhappy with the way they're making their living in this world, in this financial system that we exist in. Mm-hmm. They're unhappy about the way they're making their way in the system. Mm-hmm. And they're mad because your way seems way more carefree. If that's not adulting, then fuck it. I'm not an adult. I don't want to adult. I don't want to have a heart attack by the time I'm 50. Mm-hmm. I don't want to stress out over things that don't matter. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know that I'm not adulting. I feel like an adult. When it's time to pay fucking rent, I feel like a fucking adult. Mm-hmm. When AT&T wants their fucking $200 a month, and I don't know where this money's going or why I'm paying $200 a month, I feel like an adult. When my child calls me and tells me she needs money for whatever, I feel like an adult.
Well, you can go ahead.
I mean, I don't even want to be an adult. I'd rather be a child again. Honestly, I don't want.
I
don't want to be. I don't like if that's I don't want to be an adult. I'd rather be a child. If that's like. So it's not a cop out to anything. It's work.
Maybe it's not. Maybe the phrase isn't adulting. It's just like a traditional idea of how life is supposed to be.
Well, yeah, but we're in 2022.
Now we are.
I mean, okay, so I was born in 1977. So for y'all doing the math, I'll be 45 on Friday.
45!
Right.
Pew, 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 pew.
Right, okay. So there is nothing traditional.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, 45 was old as fuck. I don't feel old. I still hang out and do whatever the fuck I want to do. My daughter still likes hanging out with me. She's like 22. So there is no traditional. The traditional people aren't really that happy.
Yeah.
So I don't think I want to be them anyway. Like, I think I'm good getting by. All we doing is just doing time.
Yeah.
All we're really doing, really, 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 is just learning. That's all we're really doing.
What is your belief? What is your belief for afterlife? What do you subscribe to? Just out of curiosity, because you've mentioned it a couple times.
I definitely believe in God. I don't think God is I don't believe in God that the way that God's presented via like organized religions. I think there's part truth in lots of the religions to the true nature of God. But I also think that like when they say we were created in God's image, there's a certain amount of God that is in you too. And again, and this is not to, it's against any, it goes across spectrums of religions. There's a certain amount of God that is in you because you're made in God's image. So God looks like you. I think that when you die and they say you got to go before God and answer for this lifetime, I think you see a reflection of your physical self now. Because we're spiritual beings. You're a spirit inside of your body. Physically, this is the body I'm in right now. So I think the truest test and the hardest thing I have to answer to when I'm, immediately dead is looking at me and the person I see right now and answering for everything I ever did because I was there. There's no way of lying about it. There's no way of getting out. And you know everything you thought. You know everything you felt. So there's no way around it.
That's actually.
But I also.
I like that.
But I also, I think when you die, you see you, and you got to answer to you because you can't lie. You can't say there's no deception because you were there. It was you. But I also think like spiritually, I don't think you just get one go around. 30, 40, 50, whatever years is just like this. I don't think you're condemned to hell or heaven for eternity for one of those. It's a collective. But I also, like, getting deeper, I don't think that we understand time the way that time works. Like, time didn't start or stop. Time's a circle. So time always has been going on. It always will be. You've always been here. You always will be. The levels you achieve depends on you and what you learn and how you apply it here. But I don't think you get condemned to hell for one life, for eternity, or heaven. It's levels. But spiritually, you got to ascend or descend. So when I say I think that we're here just to learn, I think we all picked to come here. You picked to come back, to be here. This is a ride for your spirit. It's a ride for your soul. Like if you take all the physical things that go out of you, think about all the things you that imprint on you, all the things that happen to you that you can't really explain to nobody else, but you know they're significant. And it happens a lot. These are all things that this is part of your journey spiritually in its existence. And you're supposed to learn and collide with all these things, and hopefully you ascend and learn spiritually and grow. But this is not it, man. Doesn't even matter. This is like a small, like...
I do believe with that. I do believe in that part, that this is very small to our eternal life.
It's small.
So I subscribe to Christianity, so I do believe that there is an afterlife and there is heaven and hell,
Yeah.
But as far as like a cycle and having like a life after life and that time just continuing on, who fucking knows? Like,
I mean,
but I do believe that like you can choose. Do you want to be happy? Do you want to choose to like live out your full purpose? Do you want to choose to be miserable? Do you want to? But it's also a very small speck. Like, this is so small compared to the eternity part of your life.
So small.
It's so small.
And I mean,
I think that all the time.
There are so many things that happen here and happen to us that you don't understand. Or sometimes things happen and you don't understand them until later on. And then you're like, well, this happened. But it's all for your soul. It's for your spirit. It's for you to learn and like embrace and like grow and develop. So like, so you gotta like, you gotta duck the material things. I mean, it's all cool, great, but pay attention to the things that matter.
Yeah.
So.
It's very distracting though, because there's a lot of things that's around us and in our environment socially that are just constantly distracting everybody from what's actually important. So
I mean, if it was easy, everybody would do it, or everybody would succeed right away if it was easy.
Okay, last question.
Come on with it.
Any prominent life lessons or life hacks you've extremely benefited from since working behind the bar? And how has your time in the industry shaped how you handle business, how you adult, how you think, how you communicate? So that's kind of like multiple questions, but however you want to answer it.
I would say for like life hacks, just don't stress. As long as you're alive, there are always going to be things. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter when you plan the best you can plan or whatever you do, there are always going to be things that pop up unexpected. And sometimes when these things pop up, you think they're bad. But then later you look and you realize they were good because they were helping you grow, or they were shifting your direction or your
Always.
perspective or your
Yeah.
thinking. So I would just say, don't stress, affect change and the things that you can affect change from, but also don't stress about the things you can't change, because in time everything gets revealed. So you'll know like why, or what, like, just don't stress, man. Like, take this thing, take it for the ride that it is, and and enjoy it. Try to remember it and enjoy it most of all. Don't get so caught up in like trying to like make it or trying to accomplish or achieve that you forget to enjoy it, because that's really the whole purpose, man. The ride is the whole point of the journey is the ride.
Yeah.
It's not to get where you're going. It's the ride. So I would say like embrace it. As far as business, man, one of the best things bartending in Atlanta and living in Atlanta has taught me: don't burn bridges.
Ooh,
You never know. You never know out here who you're
We're
gonna
so
see again.
small. It's like the world is so small.
And it applies for like bartending and bartending in Atlanta, but it applies for life. Don't burn bridges, because you don't never know who you are going to see again and what position they will be in. And it's a fun fact, and I'll just leave you on this with the last question.
Okay.
Fun little story. I worked at this place, right, with this kid. It was a mixed development thing. So he lived in the place where the job was.
Okay.
He used to come to work all the time late, whatever. Shitty server, right? One day he finally does like a no call, no show. And then, I was like the bartender, I know the service, so I knew he got another job. So he got another job. Come to find out, and this didn't happen by anybody saying anything, but just through chance and through conversation. My GM at the time was friends with the GM that hired him. And somehow she came up that she hired somebody new. And they started talking and realized it was the same person. And he got fired right away. So now at the time, he had no job. So you no call, no showed your job because you had another job. And then you got fired from another job because your GM and the GM you left were friends.
Gosh.
Don't burn bridges. And the thing was this. He was a shitty server. He could have just quit. Nobody would have cared. Nobody would have tried to sandbag him.
Do it the right way.
Do it the right way. So yeah, he did that, and yeah, so that's what I got for y'all, man. Don't burn bridges.
Don't burn your bridges.
Because you're gonna see people again, man. Your bar back today might be your fucking GM tomorrow.
Seriously, because you can just level up. I mean, the pathway from. I mean, we've talked about Casey a lot, but Casey was telling me how his career path started as a bar back.
Yeah.
He started as a bar back.
Yeah. So.
And here he is, just educating us all.
Be careful.
Leveling us up, just all across the board. So yeah.
I mean, that's a life. That's a life thing too. Like, just don't burn bridges, because I mean, in life, you just don't know who you're gonna run into again. Like, you see people when you're on the top, and you see people when they on top.
Yeah.
So, don't burn bridges. That's all I got for y'all, man.
Okay, we got a quick fast round. This will be really quick. Answer really fast.
Yeah.
So, favorite wing spot in the city?
J.R. Cricket's North Avenue.
North Avenue. Very
Only
specific.
one. Yeah, only one.
Very specific.
Only one I eat from.
What's your biggest pet peeve when working?
From staff or customers?
Let's do both.
Biggest pet peeve from customers? Don't bang on my bar. Yeah, don't do that. Don't bang on my bar. Don't wave to me. I see you. I'm very aware of what's happening. I know in what order you walked up to the bar, and I'm going to get to you as soon as I possibly can. But don't do that, because I'm going to ignore you.
Okay.
And like staff, just don't be negative. Nobody, everybody has a moment when you feeling a way or whatever, and it's real easy to like slip into a slump. Just don't be negative, man, because nobody likes a negative ass Nancy. Like, nobody wants to work with a super negative. Like that one person that's always negative. It's like, man, why'd you even come to work today? And then it's like, why'd you even wake up? It's like, why don't you just die? Don't be negative. Don't be negative, man. Like, fuck. Well, don't bring that shit to work.
What about, what establishment do you feel is extremely underrated right now?
Tin Lizzie's Midtown. Shout out to
Ooh,
Midtown J.
Midtown J, yeah.
They serving up some really great margaritas. And
They
I know
really are.
It's
They're
like a
been
chain kind of
consistent
situation,
for a long ass time.
but yeah, I feel like they bar situation. They make really good cocktails, and it gets overlooked because of their crowd.
Yeah, and then Midtown location is super posh. It's cute.
I wouldn't say posh, but okay.
Okay,
They
you're
breaking
right.
cars over there. Just saying. It's not posh, but okay.
Okay, it's cute. It's cute. It's
Right.
a vibe. It's a vibe. Any hacks related to the Brave games and that people might not know about? Maybe related to tickets or clubs.
I already got you. If you come into a game and you don't necessarily care about sitting in the sun and watching baseball, get a general admission ticket. They're usually like $8, $10, $12. Go to the
They
ticket.
still are even over here.
It depends. Yeah, it depends on who they're playing.
Okay.
And at what point, like, it's like the stock market. It fluctuates, but the
Okay.
general admission tickets are always the cheapest ones. And you can get them for, like I said, most times like around 10, 12, 13 bucks.
Okay.
And then come to the Chop House. You got a great view of the game. You got seats. You got me at the bar. Yeah, that's what you do. That part. You got
Okay.
to chop.
You heard it first from Mike. What's your cocktail of choice for the season? I say season because people cocktails changes. Like, what's your cocktail right now? What are you into?
Jameson.
That's pretty consensus with all bartenders.
It was my drink of last season, too. And probably next season.
Jameson.
Just Jameson.
Just straight.
Just Jameson.
I like a good pickleback.
Yeah.
But you just Jameson.
I mean, just Jameson.
Okay. You and Bianca, first episode. She loves Jameson.
Just Jameson. It's an industry thing. Just Jameson.
Yeah.
Man.
Atlanta brunch, where to go? And what's your opinion if you don't go anywhere? Like, what do you think about that?
Atlanta brunch. Another broken egg is okay.
I'm consistently let down.
It's always super Negro-fied. Sorry, my people. I love y'all. All that. But it's always super Negro-fied. It's always like unbussed tables in there when I get there. And I've had the dirty mop smell sometimes. But I mean, I don't know, man. Like, if you go sit on the patio, I guess it's bearable. I'm not a big brunch person anyway.
Okay.
It's always bearable, I guess. I don't know, man.
Where's the last place you've gone to brunch?
Probably there.
Okay.
Well, in Atlanta there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
I went somewhere in Miami. In Atlanta there.
Moving on. If you could bring anyone back to life to enjoy a cocktail with, who would it be and why?
Well, shit. Dude,
I
getting
know.
heavy on me. That one, I mean, will probably be my cousin. My cousin Brian.
Wow.
If I weren't picking like a famous person, pick my cousin Brian. Just only because he died when I was like 18, and he was my big cousin at the time. And like now I'm all old, and I feel like, damn, he never even really got to live. Like he never got to even probably really have a cocktail. So maybe him. But if I picked a famous
that's a
person,
good one.
I'd pick like Marvin Gaye.
Oh,
I would love.
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know his like. He was just crazy in a fucking sane kind of way. I would love
I think
to like
he was
really.
fine.
I don't know about that. I think he could channel the voice of an angel when he wanted to, and I
Okay.
think he had a deeper understanding of the world.
Okay.
So I'd love to like talk to him and just see like what he thought was going on when he
Okay.
said was going on. I'd love to like ask him what did he think was going on. I'd love to talk to him about that
that's good.
for real.
And then last one, where can people find you on your off season? But you kind of answered that earlier.
Man, don't look for me nowhere. I'll be
So what
honest.
is the season? What is the Braves?
It depends on how good they are. Right now, they're looking pretty shaky, but it's early in the season. But, like, baseball season usually goes from, like, April to, like, mid-September.
Okay.
And then, like, if they're doing good, then the playoffs go to, like, October. So, if they're doing good, like, mid in October. But, you know.
How was it working at the stadium when we won the World Series? Pew, 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 pew.
Listen, yeah, you're going to cheer. Listen, you're going to clap for that one.
Woo!
It was amazing. And I'll say, like, I called it. So, I worked there as long as I've worked there.
Did you put money on that? Did you?
Nah,
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
okay.
gamble. I'm not really a gambler.
Okay.
If I spend my money, I need to get something for my money,
Yeah.
not the possibility. No, when we
Pay me my money.
pay me my money, when we were looking forward to like the All-Star game, we were all seriously let down when they took it back because of politics and a bunch of shit that had nothing to do with regular ass people. And I remember feeling like, sad for like the fans because it was like, a bunch of people that like grew up Braves fans. Like I'm a transplant. A bunch of people that grew up and they were looking forward to this and, the All-Star game was a big deal. And I mean, aside from the money we'd have made, it was a big deal for a lot of people that, I've grown to know and care about. So I was disappointed. Right after that, though, I definitely started saying, it's all right, though. We're going to the World Series. Now, I will be honest. I did not know we were going to win it. But you come to the Chop House, asked him. I was telling them from the beginning, the middle of the year, I was like, don't worry about it. We're going to the World Series. And we won. It was amazing. I made a shitload of money. I won't tell you how.
Shitload of money.
Shitload.
I believe it.
I snuck a bunch of my friends and a bunch of regulars that have been coming. I was able to sneak them into the games.
Damn, I wish I would have known.
Yeah, I could have got you in. So I got a bunch of people that deserve to be there. Because, a lot of regulars, like people that, they get the cheap tickets. They've been cheering all year and then they got priced out.
Yeah.
So I felt like I did my good. I was able to, like, get some people in.
Good.
So they could be there for it. But it was amazing, man. It's one of those things in my life, man. Nothing's going to compare. Like, man, I was at the World Series and we won.
That's dope.
So
that's super
definitely
dope.
once in a lifetime type situation. Maybe twice if they win again, hopefully.
You think they will? Maybe.
Either way, I win.
You can't tell just yet.
Either way, I'm going to win.
Okay, you are.
Either way, I'm going to win.
We're winning.
Right.
Well, it's been great talking with you. I'm so happy that you've had this conversation and we've unpacked so much. I feel like we could talk more. I feel like there's a whole other set of questions that we have that we can unpack.
I need to go get my own situation going.
Yes.
I got a lot to say.
Well, invite me. Invite Spirit and Soul.
Come on, of course. That's a given. That's already a given.
Thank you so much. And thank you, listeners, for tuning in to episode 3 of Spirit and Soul. Definitely check us out on Instagram and follow up on our episodes. We're on Instagram at Spirit and Soul Podcast. And we're on Spotify and Apple Podcast. And we're just floating out there in the atmosphere. Check us out.
Y'all better go tap in.
Tap in.
Don't wait till she blow this thing up to go trying to go follow.
Exactly.
Get with the wave now. Help grow this and be part of it.
We're going to blow up. And enjoy this amazing banana whiskey sour that was amazing. Super easy to make. All you need is this. That's really it. You got the other ingredients at the house.
Yeah.
All you need is that. This banana flavored creme de banana. Anywho, thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you.
Of course. Thanks for having me.
All right. Bye.
Peace.